Welcome to The Explainer. You might be passionate about working with kids, but what does it actually take to become a certified childcare pro here in the Philippines? Well, today we're going to break down the official standard that does just that. Let's dive in.
Okay, look at this. This one sentence. That's it. That's the core mission right there. It boils everything down to three key things that every single certified professional has to be an expert in. So what we're talking about today is the official key that unlocks the door from just loving kids to being a recognized professional. And that key is the Early Childhood Care and Development Services National Certificate, Level 3, or as we'll call it, the ECCD NC3.
All right, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. First up, what exactly is this certification? Then we'll look at the official rules, the skills you'll need, the actual steps to get certified, and finally, the big one, why this whole thing is so important.
Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, the destination. What does it really mean when you have this ECCD NC3 certification in your hands? Well, getting this qualification officially makes you a child development worker or teacher. And listen, this is way more than just a fancy title. It's a stamp of approval. It means you have the proven skills to take on the massive responsibility of shaping a child's life during those super critical first few years, from 0 to 4 years old. So who's making these rules? Who decides what competent actually means? Well, for any official certification, there has to be a master plan, a blueprint. And for this one, it all comes from one very important document. And that master plan is called the Training Regulations, or TR for short. It's the official guide created by TESDA, and its whole purpose is to make sure that no matter where you are in the Philippines, a certified childcare professional meets the exact same high standard. It's all about consistency and quality. This TR document really wears three hats. First, it sets the standard for the final assessment, what you need to know to pass. Second, it tells the training centers exactly what they need to teach. And third, it makes sure all the learning materials are consistent. Think of it as the ultimate quality control for the whole profession. Okay, so we know there's a blueprint, but what skills are actually in it? What do you have to master? The whole thing is built on what we can call 3 pillars of expertise. Now, interestingly, before you even get to the specific childcare stuff, you have to build a solid base. The journey starts with 2 other sets of skills. First, foundational skills. These are the things you need for any job. And then, professional skills, which are all about how you handle your work and relationships in a childcare setting. So that first pillar, your foundation, this is your professional toolkit. We're talking about leading a conversation, actually communicating well. It's about thinking critically when things don't go as planned. And super important, it's about being able to work with all kinds of different people and families. All right, pillar number 2 is all about putting that professionalism into practice. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's about building real trust with both the kids and their parents. It's about taking ownership of your own performance. And of course, making sure the quality of your work always hits the mark. And now we get to pillar number 3, the absolute heart of this whole certification. This is the core expertise. Remember that mission we talked about right at the start? This is it in action, running the center, understanding how a child is developing, and actually delivering that all-important curriculum. Okay, so you get what skills you need to have, but what's the actual process? How do you go from here to being certified? Let's break down the journey step by step. It's actually a pretty straightforward 4-step path. First, you have to meet the basic requirements. Second, you complete the official training. Third, you've got to pass the big national assessment. And fourth, you get your NCI 3 certificate. Boom, you're certified. So, step 1, the entry requirements. To even get started, you'll need to be a high school grad with 3 years of relevant experience or have an alternative learning system or ALS certificate. Plus, they're looking for good communication skills and some basic computer know-how. All right, once you take those boxes, it's on to the training program. And when they say comprehensive, they mean it. We're talking about a total of 298 hours of training. But it's not just about the number of hours, it's how they're used. The time is broken down very strategically. The biggest chunk, 160 hours, goes to those core competencies we talked about. And look at this, another 80 hours are for supervised industry learning. That's hands-on, real-world experience. It's all geared towards making sure you're ready for the job.
And the final hurdle before you get certified is the national assessment. Now, this isn't your typical multiple choice exam. It's a project. The idea is for you to really show what you can do, to pull together all the different skills you've learned and apply them to a real life situation. Okay, so that's the whole process. It's a lot of work, right? So why? Why go through all this? What's the real world impact of having this certification? Well, it creates this incredible ripple effect. For you, the professional, it makes your skills official and lays out a real career path. For parents, it gives them confidence and peace of mind. But the biggest impact, the real reason this matters, is for the children. It guarantees they're getting top-notch care based on a national standard, which is just so crucial for their development. And that, in turn, builds a stronger foundation for our entire community. When you really break it down, the ECCD NC3 is so much more than a piece of paper. It's a commitment. It's a national promise to our kids that the people looking after them in their most formative years are dedicated, qualified, and committed to giving them the best start possible. It's about shaping the future, one child at a time.